Good morning. Good morning. It's time to rise and receive. What day is it today? Oh my God. I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Maybe somebody can type something in the comments. Wow, I'm having a total time warp thing happening in my brain. Um, yeah, I think it's one. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. So anyway, hi. I am Sonia Miller, speaker coach and best-selling author. This is Rise and Receive, your 10-minute morning send-off designed to support you in receiving your fulfillment by unlearning struggle. So, welcome to those who are arriving and those who will be arriving. If you struggle with the need for respect, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I invite you to sit down, relax, take a few minutes, take an early coffee break or just an early start to your day, get your tea, take your coffee, and we're going to talk about respect and what it has to do with receiving your fulfillment. So, what I do every morning is I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck, which is designed to offer you receiving principles to unlearn struggle and receive your fulfillment with greater and greater ease, which, by the way, will be coming out sometime in the new year. I'm having a lot of fun learning about the publishing industry for their tarot card type of deck. So stay tuned for more updates on that. Anyway, I digress. So every morning I pull a card from the Receive card deck and I read to you what it says. So it's a receiving principle. Then we unpack it, and then I'll send you off on your day with a willingness mantra, an affirmation which activates the power of invitation. Because one of the things that we learned here at Rise and Receive, or get to explore a little bit more, is that as you unlearn struggle, receiving simply happens. And one of the ways that we unlearn struggle is we start to look at manifestation through the lens of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, which I always like to, just offer. This has nothing to do with gender or sex, but it's about different qualities or energies that we all have within us. And so as we understand, on one level, many people have heard of the yin and the yang. As we understand the difference between masculine and feminine energies, we start to see how struggle often comes from what I call an over-reliance on the masculine model of power, which is the hunter. And so the hunter does a lot of thinking and a lot of doing and a lot of strategizing, and he's up in his head because when we are operating for the masculine, manifestation is about intention, and intention can only be based on what we know with the mind. But when we tap into the feminine power of manifestation, which is being and feeling and receiving and experiencing and surrendering, and we become willing to explore how in the world is this even possibly powerful? I mean, we are so indoctrinated into seeing the masculine as powerful because it's valued and validated and compensated and rewarded, that we have really developed a malnourished relationship and sometimes an absent relationship with the utter power of the feminine. And believe me, it looks like the rest of my life is dedicated to deep diving into this because it just keeps blossoming. I just keep being blown away by how powerful the feminine is for manifesting your inner world and outer world fulfillment, and how much easier it can be when we really make available both aspects, the whole continuum of all that's within us. Relying less on the masculine when it's really not the best set of tools, and opening up to all that the feminine has to offer. So with that, I hope you're inspired. Today's card from the Receive card deck is Receive Respect. Receive respect. So sit back, let these words wash over you. And as always, you can come back and re-listen here or on YouTube to keep allowing these principles to sink in deeper. All right, here we go. Receive respect. What aspects of yourself do you feel are unacceptable? Your insecurities, your desires, your needs, your limits, your mistakes, your past, your dreams. Your need for respect appears when you feel that an aspect of you is being denied the right to exist or occupy space. Many people equate respect with admiration, but respect is rooted in something deeper. It's about honoring every piece as a part of the whole. This means that every aspect of you has the right to exist. Every part of you has the right to be here. And so respect gives you freedom because you don't have to like all of these parts of you, and you don't have to agree with all of these parts. Respect is the voice of, you have the right to be here because all of you deserves to be honored. As you accept more of you, the light and the shadow, you relax into more of your natural wholeness. Receiving respect for yourself, from yourself, is essential to receiving your fulfillment. For it is impossible to receive the kindness life always offers if you are not kind to yourself. In other words, you don't manifest what you want for yourself. You manifest how you treat yourself. And as greater respect, peace, joy, and abundance blossoms in your relationship within you, worldly manifestations can then rise up to match your inner fulfillment. So that's the receive respect card. And with that, here's your willingness mantra for the day. Feel free to write it down, practice it, think it, say it, try it on, and see how it feels. Just keep saying it over and over again. You can't say these enough, okay? Because what this does is every time you say this affirmation, it draws your awareness from the outer world, which cannot provide fulfillment. It can feel good for a short amount of time, fleetingly, but fulfillment is a feeling. It's internal. And so this brings your awareness to where the true source of your fulfillment is, and it brings your attention to where it already exists with the power of willingness. So here's your affirmation. I am willing to expand my capacity to receive by respecting more of me. I am willing to expand my capacity to receive by respecting more of me. So try that on for size, okay? I would love it if you commented, ask any questions or comment either about what's standing out for you, come back and post about how these affirmations are working for you, what you notice, what starts to show up in your awareness and in your life. So with this, I wanted to unpack this a little bit more. And I, as always, contemplate these before I show up in the morning. And I was thinking, what do I really want to highlight with this particular teaching principle today? So I'll give you the idea, and then I will talk more about how it's all connected. So here's the idea. The less you resist, the more you receive. The less you resist, the more you receive. So a lot of what we learn when we're exploring how to receive with greater and greater ease is all of the ways that we resist. Okay? And because we manifest how we treat ourselves rather than what we want for ourselves, we resist ourselves all the time, all day long, in conscious and unconscious ways. All right. There are aspects of ourselves that we have decided or we have learned or we got the message are unacceptable. Okay. And the more you can become aware of what those things are, and you will know very simply, if you feel bad and then you feel bad about feeling bad, you're resisting yourself. Okay. So I'm going to give you a personal example, and I see this play out in all sorts of ways. Okay. One of the things that I got the message, however it happens growing up, because it just happens. You absorb it from so many places when you're a child. But I got the message that I shouldn't feel lonely because I was surrounded by people who love me. And I did. I was surrounded by people. I remember this friend of mine once, when I just started to scratch the surface of loneliness, she says, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. But anyway, I got the message that I shouldn't feel lonely. And so when I did feel lonely, that was unacceptable. I resisted that part of myself. And so I was constantly using tools and affirmations and analysis and every possible resource to try to not feel lonely, because feeling lonely was unacceptable. Until one day, through my journey, I literally heard this voice rise up that said, it has to be okay that I feel lonely sometimes. In other words, I granted access where I had been denying access to my loneliness, to this aspect of myself. Okay? It was amazing what started to open up for me in my life. In the most direct, immediate sort of way, I was able to start experiencing immediately greater connection in my relationships, friendships, family, romantic. It just opened up, because what you resist persists. So I was giving all of this attention to don't feel lonely, no attention on lonely, not acceptable lonely. In other words, I wasn't respecting this part of myself. And so loneliness got a whole bunch of attention. And when I said, I accept that I feel lonely sometimes, and I gave it respect, and I granted it access into the wholeness that is me, bringing back home those pieces, I experienced more of my wholeness. And that's how it works. That's how it works. And it's so deep, and there's such a ripple effect that we receive things more and better than we could ever imagine, because it's beyond what the mind knows. We simply invite, we simply receive just whatever shows up, okay? And respect is one of those ways. And then that's the pebble in our pond of fulfillment. So I hope this is illuminating some light bulbs for you, giving you some food for thought. And at very least, and at very most, because this is so powerful, my hope is that you go into your day and you start experiencing greater and greater respect for yourself, from yourself, and then see what shows up in your relationships in your life. Okay? So with that, here's your mantra again. I am willing to expand my capacity to receive by respecting more of me. So I hope you'll come back tomorrow for the next Rise and Receive, 9:30 a.m. Okay. And please, if you have any questions, if you want more information about receiving and unlearning struggle, click on the links. I provide free webinars and the Receive course, lots of resources for you. I'm here to serve. And please share and like this, because it helps me reach those that I am here to serve. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.